overwhelmed by the influx of information that you have to deal with on a daily basis. If anything, that's why we're here, to help you to break it down, to help you understand, to help you retain the information, and also to help you get more perspective on these matters, as we oftentimes employ the services of experts across different sectors to join in this dialogue and tell you the things that you really need to know, help you understand things above the surface. Again, Mainland 98.3 FM is the sound of Lagos, and we are the sound of Lagos for a reason. We reflect the choices and the opinions and the perspectives of the average Nigerian person, whether or not you're in Lagos. We might be in Lagos, but regardless of the part of the world that you are, we do care very deeply about you and your well-being, and that is why we bring discussions that have to do with you on radio. Now, we are about to look at the papers. We open the day properly by looking at what our dailies have put together for us, and we call this segment of the program Trends in the Papers. Now, the Morning Express typically starts at 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's a couple hours where we have different segments. We had the news, and of course we had a commercial block. We also had Life is Good by Cordelia Okwe, and now we're about to look at the papers. We call it Trends in the Papers. So we look at the top stories, especially those that have been plastered on the front covers. If there's a need for us to look in between the pages, we do that as well. But for now, what we're doing is looking at the top stories, or the stories that have been reflected on the covers of our daily. We typically look at the Guardian, the Punch, and Vanguard newspaper because that's all time permits us to look at, and oftentimes the stories are somewhat replicated across the daily. So we do the best we can to discuss the most prominent stories across all our dailies. Fuad Side is our in-house analyst. He'll be joining us in just a few minutes. And before we bring him aboard, I should of course say that we apologize for the slight delay before starting the program. It starts at 7:40. We started like some 2 minutes later. We just needed to be sure that everything was right. But I know that whether or not we start at 8, there's still people who would wait for the program, not because of anything, but because you trust in the information that we give to you, and we say thank you. We appreciate you for your patience. Thank you so much. Morning to you. How are you today? I'm okay. I'm better than I was yesterday. How are you doing today too? You're great. You're always great, even when we know that there's some things you're uncomfortable with. You always say, "I'm good." I like your positive spirit, actually.
If you say you are not okay, what then do you want the people to do about it? You just have to help yourself.
Right.
We've been told to keep hope alive, and that's what I'm doing. So just listening to all through the day, I was hoping you would come and
Yeah,
take that cup of.
I'll go and do it.
I promised you a cup of tea yesterday now, just a cup.
I already made coffee.
Let's
let's
you can still have the cup today. The cup
Never mind. I already asked for coffee, so don't worry about it. I want something else. I want the land in Lekki. That's what I want now.
Not me. I can't help you. Sorry.
It's nice to talk to you, Fuad. I just wanted to wet the ground a little bit.
It's nice to meet you on radio.
Front pages of the dailies today. We have the Guardian, so we'll just start with the Guardian. We have and something that seemed to be the priority of all those who called yesterday when we were speaking about the donation of the First Lady. Well, the Guardian has decided to make this a subject matter, something to scrutinize, as well as publish the response of the First Lady in 2 years. And the Guardian, of course, does a pictorial representation of all the activities that she has donated to, or all the things that have happened that she has donated to. You know what, I'll just do us one and just focused on health. She did a 2 billion naira pledge for tuberculosis between 2024 and 2025. She also donated to disability empowerment, internally displaced persons in IDPs, 1 billion each in Plateau and Benue State. We're very aware that's one of the most recent donation. 1 billion lives of military personnel who have lost their lives in line of work. She has donated 427.75 million to education and arts. Within that 2 years, she has done a donation of 100 million naira to multiple state. And so this is just a breakdown of the donations she has done that somewhat sums up to the 12.9 billion naira. Now, I'm trying to look for the part of the report that's asking questions about where she gets the money, where she gets the money for all these donations she does, because the office of the First Lady how do you get this money? Now, she has responded. She has consistently said, and this is me reading the report in The Guardian, she has consistently said that the funds are not from government coffers, but are secured live. The money I use is not government fund. It is personally raised to help others. The Office of the First the country and the Special Advisor to the First Lady on Media, Bukola Kukoi, also has said that the motivation behind the First Lady's donation was her increasing love for humanity. And Kukoi also says that many of the donations are under her Renewed Hope initiative, and the source for the funding, there is a governing board for that Renewed Hope initiative, and these are people who are wealthy, who are spread across the country, who are very generous, and oftentimes send large donations to that initiative, as sometimes donate, which is 12.9 billion in 2 years. Fuad, would you consider this a satisfactory answer, or you think that people will still have a desire to dig further even with this explanation provided?
Mind continues to tell you that, look, there may be more to where these monies are coming from. Then the other part of your mind is telling you, oh, she's putting these monies into helping people. So why do you have to make a fuss out of it? If you understand what I'm saying. Of course, you can't have stories as to, look, the wife of the president has done. I said that, look, these are donations coming from people, and then some of them are personal funds, all under the Renewed Hope initiative. The question is that, look, nobody is saying these are government funds, but where are the monies coming from? Are they from private individuals? Are they from politicians? If they are from politicians, then that's government funds to our initiative. The donors, nothing, because it's not public funds, and so there's nothing under the law that requires that she has to give the identity of people who are giving this money. In fact, some of them can even donate to this initiative and say, look, keep my identity secret. I want to remain anonymous. If you understand what I'm saying, say it. So, anyways, I think she's putting these monies into helping people. The other part of the conversation is to know whether this money is given out to people as structure, to monitor the deployment of these funds, to ensure that, look, these funds actually get the people who really need them. Not that, look, you give it to guys who just, I would think that the First Lady is smart enough to know that, look, as I give this money out, I'll also do follow-up to ensure that people who deserve the money are the ones that get them. But again, I'm saying, see, and leverage comes in different forms. Because we are on radio, I will not tell you. But when we are off radio, I will tell you the kind of people that can be giving out money. You understand? But wherever the end justifies the means at the end of the day. You understand? We are happy that our mama, she's our mama, she's the mother of the nation. At least our mama is generous enough to be able to put these monies out to help him who really deserve these monies are the ones getting.
I'd just like to put a name to one of the people that are asking questions, right? So it's not like we're pulling this out of thin air. The spokesman for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Tanko Yunusa, was one of the people who has actually faulted the donations without clear budgetary ability, and it should not be sacrificed on the altar of charity. Let me read some of the things he said in parts. We're not opposed to her humanitarian service. They're good and welcome. However, she cannot be spending public funds. This is donations. Yeah, this is donations. I have. Well, would we call it an NGO really? I'll just call it an initiative since that's what she keeps.
But let me ask you, Sage.
Yeah.
If that Renewed Hope initiative by the First Lady has done.
She is the First Lady, right? And she has been a senator before. You would expect that the First Lady of a country would have some sort of financial backbone. Would have some financial backbone.
No. If Dangote does it, nobody's going to question. Nobody has a foundation.
The president one time answered the question about how his family has been involved in real estate and during the campaign in 2020.
So it could be personal.
I mean, that's the information that.
First Lady, I'm not questioning this also. I'm just saying that we have to commend you, and she's doing well. Our mama is doing well. That's all I can say.
Okay. That's the report that's on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. It's actually on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. For you, that's actually Emir Sanusi. Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, has launched a scathing critique of Nigeria's political class, accusing those in power of lacking moral grounding, being ruled by individuals who have no values, no name behind them, and no desire to leave a name after them. These are people who define them to them that people see them as thieves. Values do not matter to them. The royal father said the decline in public office stems from a society that rewards corruption, noting that individuals known to have looted public funds are often appointed into higher position. So he speaks to two people here for our side. He speaks to those who he accuses of having no integrity, looting public fund, and he also seen at the public sector. What are your thoughts on his opinion?
There's nothing to add, though, Sage. It's the Emir that has spoken.
What's wrong with you this morning? What
do you want me to, you want to read it again? Okay, what do you want me to add to that?
You're frustrating me.
No. Wait now. What do you want me to add to that statement?
Nothing. It's just your approach is
incorrect. If you are just covering yourself. The statement is 100%. Nothing to add, nothing to remove. Now, these are even guys who don't care. Go and die if you want to die. We'll do what we did be. I will not be discussing it here. Right. Say. The brazenness, whatever you want to say. We see it. Don't we see it? And somehow the society is structured to continue to celebrate them. Like I was telling me on Media Politics yesterday, but Socrates put out a post on Facebook that, look, Nigeria is like a whale that is stuck by the shoreline. And instead of us pushing it back into the water,
cutting a piece, everybody just
remove cutlass, I chop my own. Look, it's almost like a criminal. All these things, it's not only in politics, because the Emir has limited it majorly to politics. They also have cronies and associates in businesses. Some of them are being questioned. Some of them own banks. They own big businesses. You go to church, they give you the front seat. Go to Asalatu, they turban you, they give you fancy title. That's what we celebrate. And so, okay, you wanted me to...
I can appreciate the fact that he decided to spread his tentacle to everybody. He didn't just talk to the political class. They are from space. They are from amongst us.
They are from within us.
They grew up amongst us. We probably went to the same schools together. Our parents and their parents went to the same schools. Would reward bad behavior as long as you throw crumbs at the people who are supposed to be resistant. So I think it's up to us to make the right decisions, right? About
like we support it and continue to tolerate it.
They'll call it grace.
Great, why do you think people win elections and go and do Thanksgiving? And then through parties.
Or when you go find their religious house and say, "Oh, God did the miracle." Not necessarily. It's nepotism. That's what it is. It's not grace. It's
you have somebody who win the election, did everything, ungodly to win.
Well,
so it's just what it is.
That's the opinion of Emir Sanusi on this particular situation.
The Emir is correct, though.
Is that not what you say?
No, I think it has to be Nᴇᴏsᴜ or something.
No.
I wanted to. How do you greet Emir? Long may he live on that throne for saying the truth.
Well, we're still looking at the Guardian newspaper. Let's see what's going on in Rivers State. There are two stories from Rivers State. The first one happens to be the plight of a student, and I decided to take that one first. So it's not like we're prioritizing a political issue over the safety of young persons in Rivers State. Now, Rivers State University have become sources of fear and distress with a series of unsettling incidents plaguing Onkpolu, Orowo-Kukwo, Port Harcourt. The current problem at the theft has reached a critical point, with criminals accessing the hostels through the drainage system and robbing students. The student alleged that despite repeated robberies, the hostel management only advised them to lock the criminals from going into the entrance via the premises. Okay, please, I would ask that you not call at this time. It's not time to take phone calls. I'll just assume that the person calling is probably joining for the first 8:40 a.m. That's what we call mainland focus. So it's all about you. So please try to not call at this time because you interfere with the connection I have with Fuad's side here. Thank you very much. So Fuad, that's the situation.
Yes, I'm with you.
Students are being in their hostel. So there is a problem with the drainage system that allows for outsiders to be able to crawl fell in through the drain, stole her phone. For those who take their phones to the bathroom, I do that too. Molested her, assaulted her, and when reported, the security agents just said, lock your doors, be careful. But nothing has been done to close off that drainage, which continues to be the entry point of these assailants. But priorities, Fad.
Well, that's why again for students, it's always good for them to solve the problems ourselves. We will not even wait for the school authority.
Should that be the case? Really?
No. When I say solve the problem ourselves, I say we will drag the school authority that they will be forced to solve the problem.
Oh, okay.
They themselves will not be able to sit in their offices. In fact, the VC would have to come explain.
It is to be doing convoy. Is this prayer?
They are just busy doing convoy now. You see, NANS 1, NANS 2, NANS 3. Those days used to be complete and look out. Complete. When I say complete, those were the days where students were not really bothered about the things of the world. We want to have student union leaders. So I would think that beyond this protest, the student union government of that school, if they have anyone at all, or if they have and they are serious, should take on the school authorities to fix the problem immediately.
Well, let's talk about River State politics. IPAC writes RISIEC reject August 30 state local government election. The political party in Nigeria has written to the chairman of the River State Independent, letter signed by its national chairman, Dr. Yusuf Dantale, and national secretary, Maxwell Ungbudem. They describe in that letter unconstitutional and illegal the local count. What's the name of this? What do you call EBAS? The sole administrator.
The sole administrator,
They don't agree election either. They say the constitution does not say you are supposed to do that. It is the governor. The governor is the one who is election. They don't believe the election should hold. I mean, it's a 6-month suspend. They think it's unconstitutional and illegal that the sole administrator or the River State Electoral Commission, as constituted.
The declaration of state of emergency was needless. It was so political. It was a political state of emergency practice.
God is in control.
It was a political thing, and that's why you can see that he's been busy attending to political issues. Now he wants to conduct local government elections. How is that a mandate for a sole administrator who had come in because they said, there was going to be security? They will conduct the elections. So, we are in an era where leaders are even showing off. The funny thing, Sage. So the funny thing.
What's funny?
We'll be in this country to remind them that you were celebrating it when they did it before. When Obasanjo was doing his own, the people who complained before are the ones doing the one that is even worse than Obasanjo's own now. But because of political interest and the gain they are getting from it, president that will declare state of emergency in this Lagos, suspend the governor, suspend everybody, and will now wait for them to come and complain. It may not be 2027, it may not be 2031, but I shall know it will happen. That there will be a president who will lash on what is being done in Rivers State today to do his own and declare state of emergency in Lagos, suspend governor, suspend everybody. And I wait for those people who are celebrating the rallies. It is to conduct a sham election and put wicked people there. That's the plan. There's no other thing now. So it's all about the dirty politics we like to play and tolerate. If you are seeing the Rivers State, do you think it's about good governance for the people of Rivers State? It's about the resources of the state now. We are people that tolerate this. Like I said, it's not as if we don't like corruption. The corruption we don't like is the one we are not benefiting from. Because you are
saying, it's just, I don't know what, a month left or...
Fubara will not return until that election is conducted. It's about putting structure in the local government now. So that this same man that has caused him... Sorry?
You don't believe that they would be willing to extend that election until the governor is back?
Extend what? The election has been fixed. They've reconstituted the Rivers. Don't you see what is happening? A wicked that is so powerful that is even controlling the two parties in Rivers State now. It's controlling PDP, controlling APC. And you think it's all about... You see, the reality is that, look, we are in for it, too. So, again, you said the truth. There's nothing to add. And that's why we are seeing what we are seeing today.
Live on Facebook and on YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. That's what we are on our social media platforms. Where it doesn't matter the issue that you'd like to speak about, you can start to drop it at the moment as we're addressing the story. If you're interested, just write a comment there. So when we eventually start to take feedback, we can double back to that comment you've made and read it out. My name is Sage Bakta. JAMB sets high bar for under 16 candidate. The rider, 320 UTME score required for admission. Registrar, 23 others form screening committee. Now, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has announced that exceptionally brilliant under 16 candidate who wish to gain admission into tertiary institution must score a minimum of 320 in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME, alongside other stringent conditions. The announcement came as JAMB also yesterday inaugurated a 24-man committee headed by the board registrar for the screening of the 599 offices across the country. Other standards announced for the exceptionally brilliant under 16 candidates are not scoring less than 80% in post-UTME, not less than 80%, a very lengthy debate, 16 and above. Initially, Ishakolode, if it were up to him, wanted to peg it straight up at 18. That's what he thinks is best. But after debate, he says, fine, 16, a waste of time to keep you till 18. Well, you have to go through a series of stringent interviews. First, you must score 320, right, in your JAMB. In the thousands of under 16 students that were made to write the examination, only 599 underage scored above 320. So they have inaugurated a screening committee that would even further screen those 599 underage if they are really gifted. And do you think that they're doing too much, or this is necessary?
A well-respected professor, a man, what we actually say. Number one, examination cannot be two tests of one. Let's ask ourselves now.
He wasn't the best. Even Ben Carson wasn't the best in class.
Some of them were about gifts now, gifted children. So why do you have to tell them to bring their head and soul and kidney to be able to allow 16 don't even bother to write the exam? Look, Professor Loubai, if you remember, said that, look, when we talk about gifted children, we are talking, look, they are gifted enough to be able to pass. If you are under 16 and you can pass and have the cutoff mark, the threshold that is needed to go to university, so be it. What we are saying that these are guys who may know their thinking. If I even in terms of craft, say you can pass exam, have the highest score in exam, put them on the job and they fail completely. Whereas you have a guy who is going to define what we mean by gifted children as underage, and not necessarily lead them to the ability to pass exam. That's what I'm saying. If we know we want to have a policy where you are not up to 16, don't bother to write the exam, well, it's fine. I also think that, look, there should be some level of maturity for you to be able to. Why do we have to do this to them? They must score 320, score 80% all through their head. Is that the way to test a gifted children? A gifted child, sorry.
They're going to
examination is never, sorry?
They're going to interview them. There will be verbal conversation.
Yeah. See, you don't know what they call gifted children. I don't know how human beings do.
I understand, but Fuad, what would you recommend as the alternative to test their skills?
What I'm saying is that, look, it is extremely difficult if they've got it.
Right.
If you understand, look, the biggest inventors of the world were probably not the best in the classroom. Without even dropping out of school, it's what professors are using to teach their students. What are we talking about here?
Degrees, there'll obviously be a lot of pushback, especially from the parents of these children, but they've said 320 in UTME, 80% post UTME in there, right? Because they believe that even a book smart person might not be able to perform properly in an environment that they are emotionally.
That's what I'm saying. That can we just have a policy that says go to the university? It's okay.
Okay then.
But to limit it to that, look, when if you're underage, you must call 320. That means you are limiting it to just exams.
Result checker portal went down. They say it's technical activities. Remember, there was
the
portal is down, so you can check your crossing their fingers and hoping that things get better. So when there's new information about the portal, yes, we'll give you more.
But again, we need to probe these WIEC results. The worst in the last 10 years, the worst ever in the last 10 years. And now they say this is because they introduced one anti-clinical. Now their portal is down. They have technical issues. Hope it's not what happens to JAMB that will happen to them again now.
Anti-malpractice.
Whatever in the last 10 years. And now they are also having technical issues of our children. You can't be doing that. Look at the one of JAM, Code 2, and also ensure that people do the right thing. You can't, if you don't know what to do, can you just leave it as it is? I stop wasting people's time.
There wasn't enough information, so it allowed for speculations.
Maybe it was until people started protesting.
But at least now there's information regarding the WIEC situation. They've put out a statement that this is technical issues. Whether it's true or not is...
You tell us.
They can't even check the results. That's the thing. They can't check the results
Why?
at the moment because of technical issues, according to WIEC. That's the thing. Well, that's all we have regarding that. Because of our time, ADC APC chieftain want Tinubu to shelf re-election focus on governance. Obi slammed 712 slammed President Tinubu's re-election campaign as illegal and tone deaf, accusing the ruling party of ignoring Nigeria's suffering while violating electoral laws and worsening the country's crisis. In the statement, he isn't suffering, but also contravenes the provisions of the Electoral Act and recent warnings from the Independent National Electoral Commission, which prohibits campaign activity until 150 days before the election, said. So we have the ADC and a former APC hopeful, as the paper described. I don't know what that is. That campaigns are ongoing. Obviously, that's against the election. We are endorsing him for 2027. We're doing this and that. That this is not just illegal, but also mocking the pain of the average Nigerian. Fuad.
Well, again, the ADC doing they are in the opposition to begin to call out the ruling party for things like this. But the reality is that, look, INEC that is and can even sanction anybody because we've seen violations whether we like it or not. All of these endorsements, this and that, we've seen campaign posters, we've seen people making statements. Beyond even campaigns, what about spending limits and what have you? The amount of money you are supposed to spend on your elections. They violate this thing because they know that there's no punishment. There are no consequences for these things. If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. They will continue to the people who are doing it know that nobody is going to be able to punish them and there are no consequences for what they are doing. And they will continue to do it. They will not even listen.
Fuad, is it that the Electoral Act does not pin a consequence? You're above something, you're eligible to pay something, or face this one in jail. Is it that it doesn't exist, or they know it exists, but they're just ignoring?
Well, honestly, I don't know what the Electoral Act says, because I know there will be sanctions and there will be
some sanctions.
There has to be, because if you are on violation of his rules, really, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And on this one, you can see that the only thing they're doing is just issuing warning. And the people that are violating these rules know that it's just mere warning. You're a consort, do what we still want to do. Who are you to come and punish us? Can I not punish the APC now?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say, but INEC as a body should have the authority. Right?
Or ban the party from fielding candidates in 2027. How dare you? You started the campaign too early.
Wow. I don't know what you want from me this morning. I don't know what you want from me. Please, thank you very much. But I would actually research that section of the Electoral Act to see what it says as the punishment. Because ask questions. How do you know how much money they spent? You that puts a law. It's an open fund. Like everybody can.
Like in a post that can be monitored.
Everybody can see it.
So you can't just say because you're a billionaire, I get money, just throw money around. No.
It has to be public fund. So you say people are paying you. And final story, Kwam at the airport. Now, FAN has put out a statement said to have disobeyed the rule. You're not allowed to carry by the flight attendant to, disregard the bottle. He opposed him, and Media Aid is saying that discrediting him, and they're putting form and invokes the law. That he has enough legal backing to fight this if FAN decides.
Seen the videos.
I have seen the videos.
Well, what do you think?
I don't.
One of the friends of K1, the ultimate. I think his name is Bolaji Basia. He put a post on his Facebook page trying to defend. Only Ayo ló máa ń pààyàn. Ayo ló ń pààyàn. Ayo Yorùbá too. Look, the things they do here in Nigeria, they will not do it in Cotonou. Sage. Just across the border in Cotonou, he will not dare do what he did. I've done close to maybe 1 million down on air. And the rules are clear about certain individuals are doctored. At the point the pilot was leaving the tarmac, that one too has a K1 was almost going to kill himself. The pilot agreed that they have to suspend the pilot and the co-pilot.
Yeah.
That guy in Agbero, I mean, that woman, they said that woman, I have to bend down. I was going to kill him.
Back at 8:40 with more information on Mainland Focus. It's Open Mic Thursday. Don't go anywhere.